Hello and welcome to my channel, Balkan Aesthetics. In this video I'm going to be discussing how Jesus Christ was a vegetarian. That may come as a surprise to many people because from what we've read in the original four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, was that at the very least Jesus Christ was a pescatarian. However, I'm here to tell you that him being a pescatarian is completely untrue. If you take the time and step back from what the church officially teaches and you allow yourself to keep an open mind, you'll come to realize that Jesus Christ was indeed a vegetarian. Fortunately for me, I was lucky enough to be a viewer of the channel Better Call George, and he made a video talking about how the Bible has been watered down, especially the Gospel of Jesus Christ. And he referred me to a book called The Gospel of the Holy 12. And in that book, The Gospel of the Holy 12, which by the way is the original gospel, it tells you that Jesus Christ did not multiply bread and fish. He multiplied bread and grapes. I'm going to let that simmer for a moment, okay? He multiplied bread and grapes, not fish. Now you might wonder, why would the church augment that? Why would the church change that and make it so it was fish instead of grapes? Well, the simplest explanation to me would be that the church didn't want to give up meat. People in general don't want to give up eating meat. If you tell them that Jesus Christ was a vegetarian and he didn't eat meat, they would look at you like you have three eyes. They would be shocked. They wouldn't believe you, because that would mean that they would have to cut out eating meat, and that would be too much of a step for most people. So Jesus Christ, he tells us in one of his 12 commandments that he gives on the Sermon on the Mount that we should not consume the flesh of any animal, that we should just limit ourselves to fruits and vegetables only. And that is the right way for us to take care of ourselves, take care of our bodies, right? And if you give it just a little bit of thought, it makes a lot of sense, right? So we're obviously flesh, right? And the flesh itself dies, right? The flesh doesn't stay forever. From the dust we are made, and from the dust we return, so to speak, right? And we also know that the flesh is what makes us want to commit sin. As Paul said it, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And so long as we are in the flesh and we're not born again, right? We're not operating in the spirit, but we're operating in the flesh. We're always going to have that proclivity towards sin. We're always going to have that desire to sin, even though we may know better. The fact that we're in this flesh body makes it difficult to abstain from sinning unless one is born again. So it would make perfect sense, knowing that the flesh is what makes us sin, that we should also abstain from ingesting flesh from other creatures. Because the more flesh we ingest, that will empower our own flesh to want to commit sin. You know how that old saying goes, you are what you eat, right? So the more flesh you consume, that will inevitably lead you to want to do more things of the flesh, as strange as that might sound. So to me, it makes perfect sense why Jesus Christ would advise his disciples to avoid flesh, because you're just ingesting what's giving you a problem in the first place, which is this flesh. So I hope that makes sense. And if you don't believe me, feel free to download the Gospel of the Holy 12. You can Google it and just put PDF after writing Gospel of the Holy 12 and give it a read for yourself and you know, give it some thought, and you'll come to the same conclusions that I did. Oh, and one more thing to add. If you also read that book, you'll see that Jesus Christ said before the fall, both humans and animals alike, they didn't eat flesh. They ate the herbs of the field. There was no killing before the fall. The animals weren't predatory. They weren't hunting one another. They had their sustenance from the earth. So it makes sense that for us to get back to that, previous state, we have to begin by abstaining the eating of flesh from any kind of animal, whether it be a fish, a bird, a cow, a pig, a lamb, doesn't matter. We need to abstain from eating flesh entirely. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you want to give it a like, go ahead and do so. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great. And if you want to leave a comment for any future video you'd like me to do, I'd be happy to oblige you. And as always, God gets the glory. See you in the next video.